Boys, summer is officially here. DJ Khaled is dropping his album, Khaled, on Friday. So I don't know what everybody else is thinking about COVID and everything and vaccines. Well, get vaxxed because summer is officially open. DJ Khaled doesn't just put out albums for like no reason. It's because everything's open. So celebrate.
That's so funny you said that, because I was thinking earlier this week, like, it's almost May. Like, we haven't identified any potential songs of the summer yet. And then DJ Khaled.
I'll tell you what, he did post the track list, and I saw it just before we hopped on here. There's probably 4 to 5 songs of the summer on this album. I'm super excited, and I'm glad it's like this Friday. He didn't tease that, and it's like, oh, July 30th. And we're like, oh, come on, Billie Eilish. Like, that's too much. We're in a world now where we don't need the long teases. This is hello, time to get summer started. I love it. Got the grill out this week. Gonna throw that on this weekend. Thank you, Khaled. Thank you so much.
Dan, are you allowed to grill at your place?
Update.
We won't talk about that.
Hopefully no one from the homeowners association is listening.
I did. And I didn't hear any complaints. There's some ongoing litigation. Let's just say it that way.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, hold on. So it's really easy to know when someone's grilling.
Oh yeah.
The smoke is coming off your balcony.
And it's pretty large. So there's no hiding it. So there was a committee put in place to give the HOA not as much power and to be able to make rule changes like that. And they haven't reviewed it yet. And we have 3 HOA committee chairs leaving in June. So I have a feeling that the grilling is here to stay.
Oh, that's amazing. This is like, dude, who's going to get the most seats in the Senate, in the House.
I'm going to tell you what, I watched the HOA meeting last week on Zoom. It was the most ridiculous and childish thing I've ever seen by a bunch of grown ass adults. I should have just recorded it and sent it to you guys, because you would have laughed your asses off. It's insane what these mature adults, how they act like children to each other. No, this is my meeting and I invited you to my meeting. You don't even have to be here. I'm the president. Oh boy, that's just a little snippet. That's actually what happened. So
Dan, you should be that
I love
guy
living here, man.
You remember there was like that guy that got famous because he showed up to like some board meeting and like talked about chicken nuggets or something. Like you should be that guy at the next HOA meeting. Just show up talking about something no one else is talking about.
I'm ready for that. We need to change things up. We need to stir up in the old committee chair line, and people are talking. I'll tell you that right now.
I can't believe you watched the HOA meeting on Zoom.
It was like a car wreck. I couldn't turn it off. I'm like, I can't watch this, but I'm like, I can't turn away because this is crazy.
Because at my old building, because like we didn't own the place that we were in, so like we never went to the HOA, but there would be huge signs up all over the place anytime they were having one, and then they would have like the agenda on the day of, and I'm like, you guys are all just arguing over stuff that you're never gonna fix. I'm like, we lived here for 2 years. This never got fixed. This never happened. Like, thanks for keeping up on the landscaping, but like you guys never built this patio outside that you guys kept saying you were going to, but you talk about it every meeting.
That's basically all it is, right? Is like the most minimal update possible to move it along in the agenda. So it's like, well, last time we gave you this, so we're doing our best. We're doing our best here. No, you're not. Then get off the chair. Get off the committee. We don't need you here. It's time for change. It's time for change. We're making it happen here at our HOA. Freedom to grill. I'm gonna have a big flag out.
From DJ Khaled to grills to HOAs to everything else. What's up, guys? It's the Brunch Breakdown. Steedy out here in Los Angeles. Chris and Dan, newly vaxxed in Pittsburgh right now. So this podcast, we're really moving things ahead with DJ Khaled and the vaccine summer that we've got going on. Well, today on the show, we're going to be talking the Kentucky Derbies this weekend. The draft is coming up this weekend too. And we're just going to talk about big events that we want to go to that we haven't been to. And also there's a story coming out of Japan where a dude did some big time scamming, and we're going to discuss that. There's a chicken wing shortage. We got mystery Twizzlers and what we're listening to. But boys, let's get things started the way we always do. With Brewsday, are either of you drinking? is my question.
Hell yeah.
Okay,
Hell
I just
yeah.
listen. I didn't know. I mean, we got vaccines. I don't know. So, Chris, get us started, man. Go for it.
Okay, boys. This is week 5 of my power rankings of crappy low-calorie beers. I think. Is this the 5th one I've done? I don't even know.
That sounds right.
So I've had so many of them that are forgettable
They're
that I
just
can't
so
even
good.
Remember how
They
many
just
I've done.
blend
But
together.
This is the first week of you saying the crappy low-calorie beers. So we know how, we all know how this is going.
See how that's going.
But I have a special one. This one has a little regional flavor to it, okay? Because I've done a bunch of the national ones, like your Corona Premier. How you like that? The Blue Moon, which was the best one that I've had. I did Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, which was pure trash. But I've got a regional treat here. 95 calories, brewed off the tropical shores of the Monongahela River. Today I'm drinking Icy Light Mango. And I will tell you, boys, I was a little bit, I felt a little bit left out because last week you had both tried the Pepsi Mango. And I thought, well, I don't like pop. I don't like soda. I don't want to try that. It's not going to make me feel good. It's not to say this is going to make me feel good either.
Yeah.
But we're going to do a blind taste test here. Icy Light Mango.
Do you have a garbage can near you?
Yeah, for real. This is, you're getting into desperate territory here, friend.
That doesn't even taste like beer. That tastes like a seltzer. Like it doesn't even taste like beer. It tastes like it's like very sweet, bubbly liquid.
Are you getting mango there, or is it just like sweetness?
Tons of mango. Yeah.
Is it good? Is that a good thing? I don't know.
So I'm not big on like this really sweet stuff.
Yeah.
I'm more into like the drier IPAs and stuff like that, or like a lager. But I mean, it's very, you can smell the mango the minute you open it.
It's a popular beverage. They've obviously kept that around for a while, and it's popular use around these parts. So I've never had it.
Going down and then coming back out on the back end, it's all mango. So I mean, if you're looking for like a sweet faux beer, Icy Light Mango is only 95 calories. So
that goes well with the DJ Khaled. It seems like it's summertime. You just some sweetness, a little mango.
Yeah,
that could work.
3.8% alcohol. It's fine.
Wow, that is low.
Would I choose to drink it ever? No, but like it. So as I'm going through this process, I'm gaining more appreciation for the low calorie beers that actually have taste to them, because there have been enough of them, like the Michelob Ultras, the Corona Premiers, that they don't taste like anything. So the Blue Moon one was very citrusy, which I appreciate. This one, it's very sweet. So if you're into sweet stuff, you want a low calorie beer, it might work out for you.
I have a question. 3.8%. Is that the lowest of all the ones that you've had? 3.8% is it's like milk.
That's like tap water. Yeah.
like
that's like a salad dressing. Yeah. That's like
seriously, is that mouthwash at this point? Like, what is 3.8%?
That is a great question. I think while you guys are doing yours, I will look this up, because I do not remember what the lowest alcohol percentage was. ABV.
Okay. And where do you rank that then? Is that a kind of middle of the road? It's got some flavor, but it's a little too sweet. Maybe middle of the pack for you.
Yeah, it's not the Blue Moon citrus wheat is still the best one. That's still number one. The Yingling Flight had like a little bit of taste to it. This has more taste to it. So I guess this would probably be 2, not because I think it's like outstanding or a taste that I would go for, but it has a taste. And I just looked it up. The lowest that I've had so far in terms of ABV, the Michelob Ultra Pure Gold is 3.2%.
Oh my gosh.
So
you should need an ID to buy that. You just shouldn't.
It's a good point.
You
There's
really
like more
shouldn't.
alcohol in cough medicine you buy at
Yeah.
Giant Eagle.
Unbelievable.
3.2%. That's like, that just make okay. So then it's not a low calorie beer anymore, because if you're drinking 3.2% beer, you're drinking 3 of those,
Right.
like off the top, like you're drinking 3 of those. Like, so is it still low calories if you're
Not if you're trying to get
pounding
drunk.
that's what I'm saying. If you're pounding several of them,
Yeah.
it's like,
Because like a Yingling lager, which is a very accessible beer that I enjoy, I think is like closer to 5. It's like 4.5 to 5. And that's 130 calories. So it's only 35 more calories per bottle, but you're getting a higher alcohol. You're getting like 1.5 to 2% more alcohol per bottle. Yeah. You're right, Didi. You'd have to crush so many of these to feel it, that you'd take in more calories than you were gonna if you had something else.
it's almost like, what's the point? Because, I'm not saying everybody needs to go out and get like shit-faced every time they drink something, but like, you kind of drink for a reason. You want to get like a little bit of like that buzz, a little bit, you know what I mean? If you're going to have a couple beers, but like if you have 2 of those, it's like most of the beers that I talk about on here are between 5 and 6, most of them, right? Sometimes up to 7. And it's like, what are you doing? 3.2%.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Chris,
Yikes.
you can put another one on your list if you're looking. I saw this ad and I was looking it up to make sure I saw what it was is true. Have you heard of Coors Pure light beer? Now, the fact that I'm even saying the word Coors makes me throw up in my mouth a little bit. But Coors Pure light beer is organic. It's certified organic, 92 calories, 0 sugar, 3.8 ABV. So if you're looking for another tasteless beer, I assume Coors Pure light beer will be, I guess, at the top of that list.
Well, the other
tasteless, but
the other Coors products knock it out the park in terms of tasteless. So I'm sure this one is right up there.
It's
and that's
right
funny. Like you said, it's Coors Pure.
yes,
Because the Michelob Ultra is pure, and it's pure gold because it's organic, just like that one, which is like organic beer.
yeah.
Who thought we'd be here?
Weird. All right. Before we go too far in this podcast, Dan, tell everybody where they can find the Brunch Breakdown.
My man, there it is. You can find the Brunch Breakdown. Well, first of all, welcome to episode 50. Did you guys know that?
Whoa. My count has been so off. Have you guys noticed how like anytime I send you guys something, my count in the 40s has been completely off?
A little bit. So I think
Every
this
time.
is 50. I think this is 50 of the return of the Brunch Breakdown. I don't know what number we hit last time, but we've hit 50. So welcome to 50. But you can find this and every other 49 other episodes everywhere you listen to podcasts. That includes Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. Those are coming your way every Thursday morning, ready for you first thing in the morning each and every week. Also, the full video episodes of this podcast that we record for you, also available on Thursday, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. That's on our YouTube and our Facebook pages. Those premiere live at that time, available on demand time you'd like to check those out. And of course, we are on social media everywhere at Brunch. That's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Triller, and my favorite, TikTok.
Nice. All right. Well, continue on with Brewsday. I got another one from the Tyler Stash, Old Thunder Brewing Company, Permanent Visitor. I love the name of this, Permanent Visitor. I haven't had this yet, but I know it's in Blawnox, and I'm really excited about it. So shouts to everybody in Blawnox. Had a lot of big listeners back in the day from Blawnox. Love Blawnox.
I can update you. Tyler actually reached out to me via text after last week's episode, and he said, "Do you have any beer to trade?" And I responded to him with some of the beers that I have that I'm willing to trade, and then he did not respond to me. So I think I'm shit out of luck in this situation.
That's probably a no then. You're like a German beer and Coors Light.
Well, I just got a 6-pack Icy Light Mango, Tyler.
Well, Tyler and his amazing wife, Christy, were listening to the podcast and texting me while listening to Brewsday. And I was telling them, I was like, just don't send him any beer. It's funnier this way. So those were my text messages with those two. All right. But yeah, it's an IPA, and I don't know what's going on with this yet, but it's gonna be hoppy. Let's see what happens.
It won't be overly hoppy. I think you'll be surprised. It's rather smooth. Yeah.
I'm surprised because it's like, what are we at? I think it's 7.2 ABV, but this is pretty good. This is like really smooth. Doesn't taste hoppy at all. It's almost like I'm just tasting a wheat. Like I'm just having like a wheat beer. Really almost doesn't taste like an IPA at all. It's really good. So shout out to the folks in Blawnox, Old Thunder Brewing Company, for the permanent visitor. This might make this a permanent visitor in my home. I like this.
There you go. They just opened their tap room, I think last week or this week, and it looks beautiful. They've been doing to go. They're a new brewery, and it looks fantastic. So whenever I take the bi-yearly trip out to Blawnox, I'm definitely hitting up Old Thunder. Next time I'll pick both of you up some permanent visitors.
Nice. Please do. All right. Well, Dan, what are you sipping on? Cough syrup?
The streak has come to an end. You asked us if either of us were drinking beer, and it's a really, really disappointing no for me.
I'm not either, Dan. It's okay.
Just not able to handle that today. But I will tell you about a beer that I had this weekend at Trace Brewing, which is another new brewery in Pittsburgh. They're in Bloomfield, which if you've ever been there, prepare to spend a half hour trying to find a parking space because it sucks. But there's a lot of great businesses and things like that in Bloomfield. You should call it Boomfield because it's booming there now. It's booming there now. Chris loved that. But I had a sour from there called Bloomfield Beach because that makes a lot of sense. Anybody that knows anything about Bloomfield, but it was, I'm just referencing the description here. It's a kettle sour brewed with pineapple, tangerine, and prickly pear, which made it very intriguing and not like most other sours. The tagline for this beer is sometimes a beach is grass and concrete. And certainly in the Pittsburgh region, it's only grass and concrete. So the Bloomfield Beach, it was super tasty, very tropical, not too overpowering. It kind of had that tart, sour balance to it. Very smooth. This was one of my favorite beers I've had in quite some time, and especially from a new brewery like Trace. A lot of people are doing fruited beers. A lot of people are doing sour beers, and sometimes it's hard to stick out amongst the competition, but you throw some prickly pear in there, you're going to get my attention. So the Bloomfield Beach from Trace Brewing was fantastic to have this week. And that'd be a great one to have next weekend with some DJ Khaled and grilling season starting off. So cheers to Trace and cheers to you boys with my big old coffee here today.
Cheers, boys. Happy Brewsday. Gotta love it. Well, Dan, since you aren't participating in Brewsday, get it off your chest. You go.
Gladly. I would love to. Boys, we're in this world still where we're constantly having Zoom meetings for work and things like that. And we've all now been inside each other's homes for over a year, right? I think people weren't really sure how to interact, how to dress, where to be when you first started having these Zoom meetings. Just maybe you thought you're going to be home for a month and you don't want to be acting like a slob, whatever. You're on with your boss, your VP, whatever it might be, and I kind of just clean up a little bit. But now it's very clear, and it's been this way, I think, for most people. It's been very clear to me that most people have gotten very comfortable just wearing whatever the hell they want to wear and being comfortable during a Zoom meeting because you're working at home. So we've all seen what we wear when we wake up and probably spend the entire day in, or just like to be comfortable in. There's no business casual at home. I had a meeting earlier today where I thought, okay, this is a client or we're a client of theirs, and maybe these guys will spiff up just a little bit. No, guy's wearing a Buccos t-shirt. I'm like, okay, I see where we've come in this process and these meetings that we've had with companies like this. Whether they be internal meetings or especially external. That's the one I think people are most feared about is those external meetings because you're representing the company, and one of my Scooby-Doo pajamas don't look so good on Zoom when you're trying to do business with somebody. But I think it's time that we change the work dress code. I think we've come too far with this. People are much more comfortable and they're much more productive when they're comfortable. Now, I'm not saying roll into the office wearing sweatpants and a baggy t-shirt. Probably a little extreme. But I think there's a balance there for professional offices to, lose the ties, lose the button-up shirts, lose the sport coats, girls lose the dresses in the blouses. Let's get a little bit more comfortable. And hey, if you have a meeting and you know that going into the day, boom, you prepare for it, whatnot. We're going to be in a post-COVID era. I don't think those improv meetings are going to be happening super often, a little fist bumping, whatever it might be. But I think a little bit more business casual throughout the entire workforce. Some companies and places already have that. And I envy you. And I do. But I think it's time. We've all seen each other at our worst at this point, really. You know what I mean? You just don't dress like a slob. Just be more comfortable. We'll all be more productive. Everybody would be happier coming back into the office instead of, wow, I hate coming back into the office and now I have to dress like this. This sucks. So just wanted to share some thoughts and hopefully we can change the workplace a little bit moving forward.
I'm in. I don't think I'm going back to the workplace. I think I'm permanently from home, but I'm with you. I think I have thought a lot, especially in the summer, about how from a male's perspective, it feels unfair that women have so many options to wear to the workplace and men, you just have to wear pants. And it's so damn hot in the summer when it's humid. And like where I work at, I'm on a college campus and I have to walk like 17 blocks to have a meeting with somebody. Like you don't like showing up to that meeting after you've walked in 90-degree heat in pants. That's not fun. So yeah, I mean, at least like if you can go onto a golf course and wear like a polo with some like nice shorts, not gym shorts, but nice shorts. Right. Why can't you show up to the workplace that way? Like the golf course is like one of like the, I guess, I don't know. It's like a fancy casual type of place to be. And I feel like it's like more like formal interactions with people. Why can't that be the workplace too?
And a lot of places have people do business on the golf course with people, right? Yeah. So you're already used to that setting. Just because you're out swinging a golf club, why can't we do this in the conference room, being just as comfortable, throwing around a couple Sammys until Icy Light Mangoes at 4:30 on a Friday? I mean, let's get to the 19th hole, ladies and gentlemen.
Icy Light Mangoes have so little alcohol in them that like you could just have them in the fridge at work.
Just
and
at
I
lunch
honestly
on a
don't
Monday.
know what's worse, if you have like 4 coffees or if you have a couple of Icy Light Mangoes. I don't know what's worse.
Yeah.
Like, please, somebody try this experiment at work and let me know. Like, I want to know which person do you actually want to be around?
For real.
4 coffees or Icy Light Mango. But yeah, no, I mean, it's funny because I live here, so it's a little bit different with the dress code, but like, it's still a lot of polos. It's still a lot of that, but like, I don't even think just because of the way that like the athleisure clothes are so much better. Like, you know, everybody's got their like ratty, like jogging pants, but like get yourself a pair of nice joggers. And that feels so much better to wear to work or whatever than like having to put on dress pants every day. Because you're right, Chris, it really is like for dudes, it's just, do I really feel like, am I going to wear shorts to work? Like, I guess not. Like, I got this meeting. I guess I got to wear, I got to wear slacks every freaking day. It's like, it kind of sucks. So I hear you.
And I'm even in an environment where polos aren't even really okay. And it's like, it's like day before a holiday or Friday going into a holiday weekend. And so that's another driver. It's like, and in the summer, it's long slacks, long sleeves. It's just like, come on, at least, and give us the option of jeans if we can't do shorts. Let's be progressive. Again, we've all seen that have just woken up in their clothes that they're wearing around the house for the last 12 months. We're all comfortable with that. Let's stay comfortable. Let's stay productive. Let's make it happen, everybody.
Oh, man.
Thank you.
Chris, get it off your chest.
Okay, guys. I have a topic that comes with a question for both of you. But I will start off by kind of foreshadowing the end of this episode when we talk about what we're listening to. One of my favorite songs of all time this past week turned 20 years old. I am talking about Sum 41's Fat Lip. And for God's sake, did that make me feel old as hell. Like, I can vividly remember listening to that album, All Killer No Filler, and like it shaped a lot of the music that I loved. It shaped a lot of the music that our bands played and wrote, and it had me feeling very old. But it also made me go back and listen to that album, All Killer No Filler, and hadn't listened to that probably honestly in at least like 5 years. I mean, it's been a long time. Nothing has really said like, hey, you got to go listen to the entire album. So I did. And like clockwork, I knew every chord, every lyric of every song for an album I hadn't listened to in years. And so I wanted to know from you guys, do you have albums that you know of where like you could throw that album on tonight and you hadn't listened to it in 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, something like that, and you would know every single word? All Killer No Filler surprised me. And I guess now listening to it, it shouldn't surprise me because I love that album. I loved Sum 41 back in the early 2000s. Like, that was a band that I loved. There's a lot of Blink-182 albums that I think I could do that with. I know a couple of Newfound Glories albums I could throw on. I would know them like the back of my hand. Are there any albums like that for you guys that stick out where no matter how long it's been since you listened to it, you would know every word?
Oh, yeah. The Jay-Z's Blueprint album turns 20 on September 11th. And anytime I put that album on, which is usually like every couple years, something will remind me of it, whether, you hear it in a movie or something like that, because that album is so classic. It's so old, like you'll just hear it in random movies and stuff. So I'll go listen to one song, the next thing I'm listening to another one. But yeah, like, dude, that album, I know I think of myself back in 2001 when I listened to that. It's not even just like I like lose myself in that album, but it's like that album specifically for me, it's like the one that I'm like, yeah, 20 years just takes me back 20 years.
For me, it's the first one that came to mind was American Idiot from Green Day, which is personally for me one of my favorite albums ever from start to finish. The completeness of that album, the genius of that album, because it was such a change of pace for Green Day. Like Dookie's another one from Green Day, an earlier one from them. That would be the same way. But the style of music is so different between those two. I just remember being, that came out when we were in high school. American Idiot. So that didn't help either. But yeah, certainly that one from start to finish, I could, every lyric, every chord, every single thing. That's crazy to think about. You're right. There's not enough of those moments where we get reminded of albums like that. There's just so much music nowadays. An album could come out 2 months ago and I feel like, man, I haven't gotten around to that yet because there's so much other music to come up with and it gets lost. And then I'm like, oh shit, I totally forgot. I need to go back and listen to that. So to have these be unfortunately reminded by anniversaries like 20 years. I mean, we'll take any reason we can get, but that's kind of wild to look back on those things and not get reminded enough of the greatness of some of those albums and how they stick.
Yeah. And that's cool. The cool thing like that, but what both you guys touched on is like, it takes you back to that exact time when the album came out.
Yeah.
And I really think like music is like one of the actual forms of time travel, if you put an album on, you can go back to that exact time and place and the experience of buying the album and listening to it and what happened. But there's not many other things in life that can do that for you. So shout out to Sum 41, All Killer No Filler, making us feel old, but reminding us of some good times in music. That's what I wanted to get off my chest.
Dude, that's cool. The time travel thing is funny just because when you listen to like because I'm not the biggest Eminem fan, but like when you listen to an old Eminem song,
Oh,
it's filled with references
yeah.
from that time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, so if you're a kid and you just discovered Eminem and you hear him mention Carson Daly, Fred Durst, and Christina Aguilera, you're like, who are these people? But to me, I'm like,
Oh,
I
man.
know he's painting a picture of the VMAs to me. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
the time travel piece is interesting when you're listening to like certain artists or you hear certain features on certain like rap songs and stuff like that. And you're like, ooh, wait, I completely forgot that person exists. Christina Milian, what are you up to? You know, you just forget. But
Amazing.
no, that's cool. All right. Well, boys, gotta get this off my chest. And it goes into our first topic today. I love events. I love them. They're honestly the best thing in the world. And yesterday was announced Logan Paul, YouTuber / boxer, is going to fight Floyd Mayweather in Miami. I'm excited about this. All these people are like, oh, Floyd should be above it. He's one of the greatest boxers of all time. And I'm like, yes, he is one of the greatest boxers of all time. But you know what? I love events. I'm here for it. I'm here for every spectacle. I'm here for all of it because that's why I love sports. I love sports because of events. And I'm realizing this more and more every day as I see all the things people talk about. Some people are in the sports because they want to be a coach. Some people are in the sports because they love to break down all the math and the stats and all this stuff. It's like, I love big moments. I love events. And I'm super excited to see whatever happens on June 5th. Because it's like you can love whatever the regular sports that you do, and you can also love whatever spectacle is going on. Shouts to Triller. They put on a great spectacle like a couple weeks ago. But yeah, like you can do both. You don't have to just be like, I'm crotchety sports guy and I'm mad about this and the YouTubers and blah, blah, blah. No, like you can like it all. And I love events. And that's what I had to get off my chest. Love events, guys. They're fun.
Yeah, dude. Shouts to events. And if anybody was guaranteed the amount of money that Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul are going to get for that fight, you would take a punch right to the face and knock yourself out. Let me tell you that right now, because that's what the last guy did against Logan Paul. He was a wrestler. He had no boxing experience. He was out of shape. He was fat, and he got knocked out super duper quick. But he woke up the next day and with his one eye that he could still open, looked at the bank account and realized this was worth it. And this will have even a greater show around it. Did you hear Oscar De La Hoya on any of the prelims of that?
Oh my God. He was like,
he looks like a Dodontis. Like, what do you say? Events. Give us more events. I love it.
Yes.
Well, I mean, the whole history of that sport is like guys are only going to fight if they're getting the right paycheck, right? Like, so
Yes.
Floyd has only ever fought for one real reason for the past like decade or however long, and it's money. So if they're throwing money at him, obviously he's going to fight. Why wouldn't he fight? And they're like, hey, you're like the greatest boxer ever. We'll pay you millions to fight a kid on YouTube. Like normally when they're like, we'll give you millions, they're like, you got to fight somebody legitimate. Now they're like, you got to fight a YouTube kid. I don't know much about Logan Paul. The one thing I saw was like, he's had one career fight. So if I'm Floyd Mayweather and you're saying I'm going to get that much money to fight him, yeah, I'm doing it.
Yeah. I just love it all. Like I'm obsessed with all of like the ridiculousness, and I just don't understand why people get so mad about it. Like it's entertainment, guys. Like I imagine they're gonna add DJ Khaled performances to this. Like Justin Bieber performed at the last Paul brother fight. Like why not? Like let's go. Just do it. I hope Snoop is calling the fight. Like I want it all. Like
that was great. Yeah,
love all this. Like everything there, and also in the serious thing, I think everything they're doing with these fights, I think that like eventually you're going to see the other sports, the NFL, the NBA, NHL, they're all going to be taking things from this because I feel like we're learning a lot more about like how we do like to have fun when we watch things. You know, we don't need the same announcers that we can't even tell who they are. It's really like Tony Romo and then who else? I don't know anybody else. Everybody else's voice on CBS like sounds exactly the same.
We talked about this with the announcers before. You're exactly right. Like the whole Nickelodeon thing and what they did with the NFL game. Not everything needs to be as serious as the Masters on CBS. And like that's part of that environment, but everything else people should have more fun with it, especially now that betting's involved and everything like that. Like loosen up a little bit.
Now I'm picturing a Nickelodeon broadcast of the Masters.
Oh, let's go.
And like slime every time the ball goes in the hole or like it comes out.
Oh, dude.
Let's go.
Turn every body of water into slime, like a slime lake, and it's just like
TM. My God. All right. Well, I want to talk about events because there's some big events going on right now because we're at that time. Big boxing fights coming up in a couple of weeks. We got Kentucky Derby on Saturday. We got the NFL draft. Boys, what event? Is there any event that you're like, I want to go to this one huge event that is like an American staple, a world staple, whatever it is? What's one of the ones you want to go to?
Yeah, I'll start. I have to go to a Rose Bowl at some point. I mean, like, no matter who the teams are, every time you see the Rose Bowl, I mean, you have the Rose Bowl parade, you have the pageantry of the game, and then like something about that camera shot when they come back after halftime and the sun is going down over the mountains and there's just a Rose Bowl packed of fans. Like, I have to go to a Rose Bowl at some point in time. And at some point in time, I'm going to have to stop waiting for Pitt to actually be in it to show up at it. Because I don't know that that's going to happen.
Good thing you know somebody who lives out there. I will go to do any Rose Bowl because the Rose Parade stuff, everything around the Rose Bowl is like so much fun in itself. Like going to see, because you can go see the floats before like the parade. So like a couple days before, like you can just go see them and seeing how crazy everything they do with roses and all that and all the flowers and shit. Super cool. But
that's cool.
But yeah.
Speaking of the Rose Bowl, the venue itself, the second greatest thing you could see besides a Rose Bowl game is Jay-Z and Beyonce. And Dee and I were lucky enough to do that. So don't hate that
again,
option.
I'll be there.
Don't hate that at all. For me, this was very clear, very obvious, and one that I plan to do and I will do. And it's WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania.
I thought you were going to say Coachella because it's been canceled.
See now, what 6 years ago, that certainly would have been number one on the list, and I certainly would not have predicted being there 4 times, and most likely going one for the thumb next year. How many times have we said this is the last time?
It's the last time it's been holding out 3 years,
right? But for me, it's definitely WrestleMania, the greatest spectacle in all of sports entertainment. It just so happens that they're going to be in LA in a couple of years. And so that might be the one specifically to go to. I think they're there in 2 years, but always been intrigued, fascinated. I think it might depend on the seats though. You know what I mean? You're in a football stadium, but you're watching something that's literally 12 yards by 12 yards. So just put that in perspective of a football game. You're just watching it that small. So yeah, you have the screens and everything like that, but obviously the environment itself is super duper cool. So WrestleMania is always one that's been on my list.
Mine is, I want to go to a huge fight on Cinco de Mayo, like that week.
Ooh.
But it also has to do with, honestly, the reason I haven't gone to one is because I can't afford the seats that close. Because it's really the same WrestleMania problem. It's like, I don't want to sit so far away from these two guys in this ring, in this arena or huge stadium or whatever. I'd rather watch that at home. You know what I mean? Or with a bunch of people at a bar or something like that. Than like, but if I ever get a chance to be like close enough, like I'm jumping at it in 2 seconds. Like I just love to be in a huge fight. Cinco de Mayo or Mexican Independence Day in September is always when the huge fights are going on. And I just would love it. Cause like, it's one thing about boxing. It's like, and I think mainly because growing up, like boxing is,
He freeze for you? He froze for me.
He's frozen. Yeah.
Okay. He had an interesting point he was going to make there.
Yeah. Weren't we in Vegas on Cinco de Mayo for like a big fight night?
We were. Yeah. We took you there for your surprise.
Was like for us was never like the biggest thing, but when it's
okay. He's
back.
I'll be back.
You're back.
What happened? I'm back.
Lost you in time there.
So I don't even know what you left off with Didi, but now he's frozen again. So
wow. So boxing for him. Did you have another one, Chris? Mine, I had 2 backup ones that were we just talked about the Masters. I think it would be cool to go to a Masters one year, get some pimento cheese sandwiches, and then the Grammys. Since I've already attended Coachella, I think the Grammys would be cool.
Yeah, I didn't even think about like those award shows. That's an interesting one. The other one I had was like, I don't even know if it necessarily counts because it's so like conditional, but like I've seen the Stanley Cup presented in person, but it wasn't to my team.
Right.
So it's kind of a bummer. So I would love to see the first Stanley Cup presented to my favorite hockey team. And that's got a cool event to be part of, like for in the sports world, like when the Stanley Cup is in your town and they have all the media in and like set up all the tents and there's like live broadcasts outside the game and all that kind of stuff. It's a very cool experience to go to one of those games, but I would like to see my team win in person. That would be cool.
Yeah. I wish.
Yeah. What, the Pens have won the Stanley Cup five times and they've never won it at home.
Yeah.
Come on.
And I was at like
can we get one?
It's been presented once in Pittsburgh and we lost that game. And then I was at a game 6 in 2016 where all signs looked like we were going to win that game and then we did not. So one day.
Yeah. I wish I could like make it so that I could go to a game 7 of anything and honestly, teams that I don't even like, because I don't want to be there if it's my team in game 7. You know what I mean? Like I have no desire to be there for game 7, but like to be at a game 7 for NBA, NHL, like whatever, like that would just be awesome. And especially if I had no rooting interest and I'm just out there just like, go team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like thinking back to the Rose Bowl, I think it would be better if I didn't have any rooting interest in it.
Right.
You could just enjoy it, be relaxed. Like
exactly.
that might be the best way to do it.
Yeah, that honestly is the best. That's literally the best way to do it. Like, hopefully maybe Wisconsin will be in it or something and like you won't care who wins, but
Well, my wife has been to 3 Rose Bowls and they lost all 3 of them. So she like hates the Rose Bowl. And now that I'm thinking about it, like, it would be terrible if your team lost every time you went there.
Because then you just start thinking about how much money you spent.
To see them lose every year.
Right. That trip home, that flight home, it's just like, why did we come out here again?
Yeah, you're just, oh man, that's just nothing worse than that. Because I mean, we went to the Final Four and West Virginia lost to Duke by like 1 billion points, and we knew it was over in the first like 10 minutes because Duke set the record for most threes in the Final Four game, right? And we knew we're just like, all right, well, it's over. It was, so there was like a thing to it where it was like, okay, well, at least it wasn't close, so like we knew they lost, so like we could have fun, but it was also like, damn guys, like I wish you could have let us enjoy the game for a little bit more than the 5 seconds.
Not to like terribly tangent this, but do you think there are some fans that like some Buffalo Bills fans that went to all 4 Super Bowls in a row?
Like,
witnessed that. We got to get one of those people on the podcast and talk to them.
Would love to have that conversation.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's got to be the worst experience ever.
Yeah. Because I've been to 1 Super Bowl and thankfully it turned out well. And I don't know if I'll ever go back to another one because it was the greatest one for me. And I couldn't imagine going there and walking out losing like the Arizona Cardinal fans did that night.
Oh, that's the worst when it just gets snatched away from you. Because me watching that game at home was like Cardinals won.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like no rooting interest. Like I'm not a Steeler fan. I'm not definitely a Cardinals fan. And I'm just like, wow. And then you just get it ripped away from you. And then you have to watch that same clip every time there's any NFL moment.
The next 6 months. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, that was fun, boys. I've been to the Kentucky Derby. It's a fun event, by the way. Kentucky Derby's a good time.
I've heard horse races are very underrated. Like the whole infield, especially if you're on the infield.
The infield party.
Yeah. Whether you're in the infield or you're dressed up out, in the stands, it's either way. It's just fun. It's a bunch of drinking, especially if the weather's good. That's one of the things, especially with the Kentucky Derby. Sometimes it can be trash weather.
Ooh, yeah.
Luckily for me, it was not trash weather. It was like too hot in Louisville that time when I went. But man, when you get good weather and it's just in like this time of year, and everybody's just ready to let loose, it's a good time.
Are there going to be fans this year?
I don't know. It's so hard to keep track. I hope so. I hope there should be some anyways. Like, I don't know what the infield is going to look like, because the infield is usually just like everybody packed in like sardines, but like, maybe there'll be some people somewhere. So hopefully. All right, well, boys, let's get into our next topic here. This story I saw in the middle of the night and had to send it to you guys, because there's a guy in Japan who's dating 35 different women. And now he might be facing jail time because he told them all different birthdays just to get gifts. So he's being sued for fraud. And I got to ask you guys, does this deserve jail time? Or are we like, you just got to take the L, ladies. You lost. Like, just take the L.
There's no way this guy deserves jail time. He deserves a Medal of Honor or whatever, because this is borderline genius to do something like this. So I'll give them different birthdays that are close to the date, so you get all these different gifts. No, ladies, just take the L. You get fooled, you got scammed. That's life. That's tough. No way this guy should get anything but a slap on the wrist and kind of a wink and be like, "This is pretty smart. It's a pretty smart little move there." It's genius.
Yeah. How is it? How is that possibly jail time? That's ridiculous. Like, it's not like, I don't know. Like, sometimes people ships, it's like this happened with Dee Dee, actually. You guys bought stuff for Saoirse and accidentally shipped it through Amazon to our house.
Yes.
And like,
true.
We didn't go to jail because of that. We got a freebie. Okay. And you guys were like, keep it. And then Amazon was like, you know what? You don't even have to pay us back. We'll just pretend it never happened. I feel like this is like that situation. I mean, it happened 35 times, but like, come on, that's ridiculous. You can't prosecute this guy just because he had the smarts to try this, when like, I don't even think any other guy had even thought of doing something like this. It's really innovative if you think about it. I don't endorse it, but it's innovative.
35. That's 35. I feel like is the problem, but like, it's not jail time. Because even if a girl was doing this, I'd be like, you know what? She's a genius. Also, this makes me think the most about like when you go to a bar and like, you buy a girl a drink or something and like you think she's gonna talk to you and then like she doesn't. And this is something that my great girlfriends in life have taught me never to do that, because they would get me drinks from dudes who would buy them drinks and they would just hand it to me and then walk away. So I would drink for free. Some dude just got scammed. And I'm like, do my friends deserve to go to jail for that?
That's certainly happened. Somebody's done that more than 35 times. They might do that in a weekend.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a Friday through Sunday.
Dee Dee's metaphor was way better than mine. I want to go with Dee Dee's, and that should, because we've certainly been on one or the other end of that situation before, and that's just life.
Also, the guy must be super charming if he's getting gifts from all these women. 35? You got to be one charming son bitch that you're early enough in a relationship. Oh yeah, my birthday's coming up in a couple of weeks. And then they get you a gift. How many times did it not work out? That's the question. I mean, all these girls, he's a good looking, charming little fella there. And they all got him gifts. This wasn't like over 35 years. You know what I mean? This was done relatively quickly.
Yeah. And I think like what I'm most blown away about with this story is being able to date 35 women in relatively at the same time in the age of social media. Like how do you not get caught? Right. Like,
right.
I've often thought like you could never, like in today's day and age, like if you're dating a girl in college and then you meet another girl, like even if you didn't like try and hit on the girl, somebody takes a picture of you and it looks like you were, then your relationship is over and you're screwed, right? So how does this guy do it with 35 women? That's unbelievable.
I wonder if he has 35 Instagram accounts. Because then it's turning into like a whole different thing. But like, I don't know how you can possibly, do this? Like 35 people from 35 different friend groups. Like, I don't know what city this was in. Hey, maybe it's a city with a billion people, because I know you can't do this in Pittsburgh. Hell, I can't do this in LA. Like, because I just know too many people who you'll go to a party and it's like, wait, how do you know this? How do you know them? How do you know what I'm saying? 35 is a lot. Like, if I put 35 of my friends here in a group, and like me and Siobhan put our friends in a group, and like some of them will know each other from something. I don't know what, but something.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that happened.
So this happened in Japan. The guy is a part-time worker with no fixed home. And he's 39 years old.
Goat.
I mean, it's just complete genius. And how you keep track of all this, like, that's gotta be some serious calendar. Be like, all right, I'm going out with this girl on this birthday. And you have to keep track of when you told her. Are you just making it up on the fly? Or is he's got it all planned out? I mean, it's genius. It is. He doesn't deserve jail time, fraud, anything like that. They also, it said the total number of victims stands at 35 with the possibility of more coming forward. So we'll have to get an update to see if that number grew at all.
That's so many people. 35 and more. Wow. God, I want, because I don't want to, like, I want to praise the guy, but I'm also like, he probably is like a sociopath of some sort.
Yeah, he is that going on. He's a grade A asshole, but like at the same time, you know, maybe he has a career in project management or something, because that's unbelievable.
Well, his job was, and part of the reason he met these women, he worked for a marketing company selling hydrogen water shower heads and other products. And then he made it very clear to them that marriage was going to be on the table. So yeah, little psycho, to say the least. Grade A asshole, like you said, Chris, but no time, no crime.
No time. Just grade A asshole. We get to make fun of him on the podcast. That's what he gets. All right. Another thing, guys, I want to get your thoughts on. There's a chicken wing shortage. And get this. The price of chicken wings is up almost a full $1 on average in the United States. Like, the average price for chicken is $181, and right now it's at $275. I think that's what it said. So we're almost $1 above the average price. And they're like, a lot of places are just like, we don't like boneless wings, pushing boneless wings, because they're like, we can't afford to buy this many chicken wings all the time, because the pandemic, I guess, really had more people buying chicken wings and pizza than ever before, because they travel so well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I guess now that is it's one of the things from the pandemic is we have a chicken wing shortage now. So chicken is mad expensive.
Unbelievable. Like, the things that you would never guess would be a product of a global pandemic. Like, we've talked about some of the things before, like, it's really hard to buy appliances right now. That's kind of strange. You would never think things like that, but then like chicken wings, I already thought like our country ate as many chicken wings as we could possibly eat. So how are we running out of chicken? Yeah, that's crazy to me. And it's sad times.
That's the question. Like, where was the balance of supply to demand during regular time? And how much did that get throttled over the last year, where they're like, whoa, we have a serious problem right now? Like, that's a lot. And it's a relatively specific thing. You're not having chicken wings all the time, but like you said, Didi, it travels well. B-Dubs had a fantastic deal going on around the Final Four. So shouts to them for that $20 deal. But it's so weird and such a specific item. I mean, I'm glad we're not running out of too much chicken, but it's mostly the wing. But we gotta get back to work here. We gotta get that chicken wing supply up, because I ain't paying $1 more per wing or whatever per pound per wing for chicken wings right now. That's for sure.
Well, now, can we expect that there will be a rise and fall here? Because like, as restaurants open up, as things get safer, people can go back to the places that they would buy chicken wings at. The novelty runs off. You're not having them at home anymore, but then there are more chicken wings in the market because the demand was so high that now you can get chicken wings for like 5 cents a wing. Is that in our future?
Ooh, okay. So if all of a sudden, so you're saying like if chicken wings just all of a sudden start leaving menus, really? Like a lot of places just are like, we're just going to let chicken wings go for a while. And then chicken wings make a comeback and they're mad cheap.
What I'm saying is like, these restaurants are buying chicken wings like double time, getting as many as they can because there's a shortage, right? So they're trying to get their hands on them. And then all of a sudden the demand drops off and then they have too many chicken wings and then they got to get rid of them. See, this is kind of like a stock market thing, I think, where like you got to wait for the sweet spot and then pounce on those chicken wings. Now's not the time. Now's not the time.
Interesting. Really interesting.
If that made any sense at all.
Well, this kind of goes back to the other shortage we had last year was the aluminum can shortage and the threat that had on the to-go beer industry because everybody was buying to-go beer. Remember that last summer?
Yeah.
Thankfully, it was never that serious, but that was just like so. It makes sense. Chicken wings and beer. I mean, we have a serious problem. Those are two top favorites of mine right there. Thank goodness they're not having it at the same time, or I'd be having some serious issues.
Yeah, but the aluminum can thing was like, I read about it, but I never saw it as a problem. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it never.
Right.
I did a bunch of beer pickups. I even went back to one of them because there's like those. If you buy from craft brews, they have like the plastic thing that goes on top of the cans. And like, I went back to them. I said like, hey, I've heard like, you guys may be struggling with some of the resources. Like, does it help if we bring these back? And they were like, no, like, we don't care. So like, I think some of this stuff is like headlines. Like if you call a restaurant that you know of near you that has chicken wings, are they not going to be able to deliver you chicken wings?
Probably not, because they're all going to Applebee's for these garbage commercial campaigns that they got running on for their bowls, which will give you. I don't even want to get into that. They're taking all the chicken wings. Lay off, Applebee's. Stick to your riblets.
The one thing I do think about, and with the cans though, and this might, because maybe they jumped the gun and were like, it was headlines because it was like, oh my God, pandemic, more people are buying more beer. Maybe this ends up being a problem like years down the road, because when I first moved here, I'll never forget there being like a 2-minute long package on the news about how there was a cork shortage for wine, and how there were going to be a lot more twist offs. And I never saw it. And now when I go to get wine and stuff, there are so many more twist offs. And like, you see so many more twist offs, and it's like, oh, it just like took a while, because I guess you got a lot of corks going around. But then all these people, because there's more people making beer now than ever before. There's more people making wine now than ever before. And I think maybe it's a long-term thing, and it was just headlines for the pandemic. But when I see that, it makes me think of the cork thing. Because like there are not, like, I feel like it's almost like 50-50 with wine now. It's like one bottle you grab, it's twist off, one's the cork. And it's like, used to all be corks. Now you're like, fuck that.
That's interesting. Well, what's the worst thing to have a shortage of then?
Oh God, what is the worst thing
for you guys personally? What's one thing that if it went short, you would be buying it at whatever price and stashing it up? For me, it's peanut butter. For me, it's peanuts or peanut butter. I have a unhealthy obsession with peanut butter, and so try to buy the low sugar one. But that would be catastrophic for me. Peanut butter and coffee. You take those out of my life for an extended period of time, not going to be super pleasant to be around. To be honest with you guys.
Yeah, if there was a coffee shortage, it's a wrap for me. And my whole house, my wife might kill me one morning just on accident, not even know she did it. So there was coffee. Wow. Could you imagine America with a coffee shortage, or the whole country without coffee? The whole world with a country shortage?
And that's a realistic one, since it's a grown on a plant and everything like that. It's not like, oh, we can just figure it out.
Yeah, coffee is definitely on my list. This one's a little bit more out there, but it's real because we experienced it this year. I don't know how familiar you guys are, or any of our listeners are, with the supply demand ratio of like gym equipment this year. Because you can't, you still, like in most cases, have to wait months until you can get gym equipment. And luckily, like when everything hit, the first thing I thought of was I need to buy weight. So I did, and I got in before all that happened. But like that's a rough one for me.
Yeah, because I was trying to think of things that like didn't happen during the pandemic, but like that's a big one, like toilet paper.
Oh yeah,
like
Why,
those.
Yeah,
that was tough times.
To everybody.
That was tough times.
Those were weird times, man. Like I was online, like looking like I was like a crazy person trying to find, like I remember being on like Walmart, like trying to get like a huge thing of toilet paper, like in like middle of the night. Cause like I read somewhere that like, if you go on these sites at midnight, that's when they like restock online. And I was on like, I had 3 sites open. Like I was trying to get tickets or tennis shoes or some shit, trying to get toilet paper, like serious, terrified. No toilet paper.
What a wild time that we've experienced here. We started with toilet paper, gone through aluminum cans, and now here we are with chicken wings. We just need some normal society back here, people.
Yeah,
man. All right, well, Dan, let's get into this taste test thing, because you got mystery Twizzlers, sir.
I did. We had these on Brunch Court a few weeks back. Found them at the grocery store this past week. The mystery Twizzlers. I believe both of you were vastly against this idea.
Big time.
You haven't received your packages yet? I'm kidding. And I'm for it. I love the mystery thing. Now, I haven't tried these yet, to be honest with you. So this is truly a live taste test. And I'm smelling it, and it just smells like Twizzlers, I'll be honest. Oh, if these are like grape, I'm going to spit this out.
Oh my God. No, you know what my mind just went to is like they package them as mystery Twizzlers, and they're just Twizzlers. They're just regular Twizzlers.
Jokes on you, they're red vines.
You smelling
I'm
it?
smelling it, and
Dan is
like Twizzlers.
smelling this more than he would like a beer that he's about to try for the first time.
That's true. There's a pound of Twizzlers in this package. Like, cut back, people. We're gonna have a shortage of Twizzlers, for crying out loud. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I think these are regular Twizzlers. They're just a different color. They're just this like poopy purple brown.
Try another one.
Nothing.
Come on, one more.
Dan, I think the
serious?
key is you need to eat the entire pound before you can tell what flavor it is. So you should just get going, and you can finish it before the end of this episode.
That's what I'm trying to figure out, if it's one of those difficult things like the Oreo did Fruity Pebbles. That's a very specific thing. This is ridiculous. I'm pretty pissed off right now. Nothing.
This is amazing.
This tastes like just regular Twizzlers.
We got to cut this and at Twizzlers on every social media platform.
1000% getting cut. This is the best thing we've
and of
ever
course,
done.
you can't, reading the ingredients, it doesn't tell you anything either.
The ingredient is Twizzlers.
And Twizzlers. This is bullshit.
100% Twizzlers.
Dan, how much did that cost? What was the price at the
on sale for $2.50?
Well, $2.50. I mean, at least you didn't spend.
Yeah, but they're gonna go in the garbage. They're gonna go in the garbage. I don't even like regular Twizzlers that much. There's a pound of Twizzlers in here. Mystery my ass.
My God. Well,
if anybody else has had these and you taste something different, please let me know. Let us know at Brunch Breakdown.
What do you think this is? Like the white dress, blue dress thing? Like everybody sees or tastes something different?
Can you guess the mystery flavor? Yeah. Twizzlers. I got to go on Twitter to find out. I'm sure a lot of people are feeling the same way. This is trash.
The mystery is they're just Twizzlers.
They're just Twizzlers. They're just a different color. Like this is the actual color this is before it gets dyed. These wouldn't look good to most people if they're like, oh no, it tastes like strawberry and cherry. Like, really? Maybe I just had a bad one. No. All right.
I really wanted him to just scream, "Oh, grape!"
Oh, wait, there it is.
Wow.
Well, that's all I got. I wish I had more. There was more lead up to that, but this is pretty disappointing.
No, that was
So I'm voting it.
that's the best thing we've ever done on this
In
podcast.
Brunch Court.
1000%. Episode 50. All right, boys, let's get into it. What we're listening to this week. Chris, what are you listening to, man?
So I discovered this band this week that I just absolutely love. Like really, really good pop punk that's almost like kind of like party punk. They remind me a lot of bands like Lit and like The Offspring. So I'll be really curious to hear what you guys think of this band. Dan, you're going to love the name because it's Friend Circle, but it's spelled FRNDCRCL.
Oh, huge fan of that already.
So that's right up Steel City Dan's alley. Song called Loose Cannon was the one that I first heard that like it tipped me off to them. Really good. And then another song called Famous. I want to put both of them on the playlist and get your guys' opinion, but their streams are like really low on Spotify, way too low. We need to help blow this band up because they're very, very good. So Friend Circle going on the playlist this week.
Like it. Love blowing up somebody. Let's blow it up. Dan, why you still got Twizzler in your mouth? You want me to go?
You're muted, Dan.
You're muted. What'd you do? Twizzler took over.
How about now?
There you go.
There we go. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it was too much Twizzler chewing there. Really disappointing. I was trying to get more flavor. For me, this week, I'm going to start off with Chris, great friends of ours. We've put them on the podcast a number of times over the past couple months. I'm wearing their merch right now. Eternal Boy, their long-awaited album, Bad Days Are Over, comes out this Friday. I was able to listen to it early, luckily enough, and it is fantastic. For those lovers of classic pop punk, this is a band and this is an album for you. So these are our hometown friends out of Pittsburgh. Chris and I, our former bands, we've played with them a bunch of times. Just super proud of these dudes. Super proud to call them friends, Rishi, Andy, and Joe. They've gone through a lot to get this album out. As you can imagine, for a local band, that's really difficult to do during a pandemic when you can't go out and support it on tour. So that's huge for them. And the fact that they got this thing out, coming out this Friday. I'm going to throw a bunch of songs on it. You're Going to Regret It. Promise is a stripped back song, which is incredible. They do that every once in a while. 30 something. I got the CD right here. I got the vinyl right here. The aesthetic of this album, the cover is amazing. Love these dudes. Check it out. Eternal Boy, Bad Days Are Over, out this Friday.
Nice. We'll blow that out too.
Heck yeah.
We will blow that up too this week on the pod. All right. I got a song that because I'm really, hashtag vaccine summer. I'm really feeling it these days. I'm really ready for it. Sam Henshaw has a song called All Good. And if you don't know Sam Henshaw, R&B singer, really good. And he has a song that came out last year that's on a Dos Equis commercial right now. And it is the perfect song to be drinking whatever Mexican lager that you want to be drinking outside. Yeah, I'm telling you. But this song, throw it on your summer playlist right now. Just throw it on there. Like, you don't have to listen to the song. Just know it's already going on there. Then when you hit play on your playlist, that song will come up. You'll be like, damn, this is a jam. And you'll be like, that's it. Sam Henshaw, All Good. Check it out.
Nice. We Were Sharks is a band that I've been a huge fan of for a long time. And somehow, some way, they released a bunch of singles last year that I just totally missed. So I guess kind of because of what Dan said, like there's so much music out there, it's hard to keep track. even when you have feeds that are telling you what to listen to. But they have a new song. Well, I can't even call it a new song. They have a recently released song called Shameless that I really enjoyed. So I'm going to put that on the podcast. Put it on the playlist this week. Goodness gracious. Podcast. This is a podcast that has a playlist.
Yes.
That's right.
Both of them are on Spotify.
Corona Premiere. By the way, I just saw an article about mystery Twizzlers. It says Twizzlers is messing with our heads. Saying it tastes like mixed fruit and basically regular Twizzlers. So I'm not going crazy. Let's see. Where am I going to go next? Saint Nomad. Shouts out to our good friend Eric for passing this song along to me this week. And this band that I had not heard of. They're an alt pop band of brothers. They've got a newly released song called Stay. Lots of synth sounds, softer guitar lines, catchy lyrics, and it is right up Steel City Dan alley. That's exactly why he sent it to me. So I'm looking forward to checking these guys out more, but really digging the sound. Kind of newly discovered Saint Nomad, and their single Stay is what I'll throw on the playlist this week.
I heard this song through a friend's Instagram post. A Girl in Red, Serotonin.
Oh,
this song is like life-changing.
Yeah.
This is a hell of a song. And then I went down a wormhole listening to her music, and she's got an album coming out actually on Friday. And I'm excited to hear what's going down with that. So, but yeah, Girl in Red, I literally not heard anything about this. I saw an Instagram post of somebody that I really respect their music opinion. And I was like, yeah, this is a jam. So check that out.
By the way, if you want a good laugh, bid song by Bunny.
Wait, I lost you.
Run that back.
Run it back.
Did you? Okay, I'm gonna try that one more. I was gonna say you're not reacting the way I thought you were. If you're looking for a good laugh, the single is named "You Stupid Bitch" by Girl in Red as well. That's just it's very funny. It's very funny.
Nice.
But Serotonin's amazing.
Nice.
Whose turn is it? Is it my turn?
I think it's me. It's
Chris
me.
Up.
Yeah. So I'm gonna throw Sum 41 on the playlist this week, which should not be surprising from the way we opened the episode. But Fat Lip, listen to it, love it. One of the best pop punk songs ever written. Thank you and good night.
Nice.
Love that. That album is amazing, Chris. I'm so glad you brought that to light. It really is. Memories on that. Last one for me. But first, I want to ask you, Dee, because I don't want to double down. Any chance your last one is from Porter Robinson?
No.
Okay. Well, then that'll be my last one. Porter Robinson, new album came out last week called Nurture. There's a song featuring, and this British DJ producer has one of the greatest names I have ever heard. Totally Enormous Extinct Dinosaurs. I wish I was joking. So it's Porter Robinson featuring Totally Enormous Extinct Dinosaurs. And that's not a band. That's a producer, the DJ from Britain. The song is called Unfold, and it's kind of this spacey electro sound, some soft vocals, and they blend really, really well together. Really dig the overall sound. Dee, I know you've put Porter Robinson on the playlist a couple times before, so I need to dig a little bit more into this album in particular. I know there's some other ones that have been released already, but Unfold is the second I heard that song, I was like, this is amazing. So Porter Robinson, Totally Enormous Extinct Dinosaurs with Unfold to round it out.
Nice. All right. My last one, Julia Michaels. I'm hit or miss with Julia Michaels. All right. It's got, Issues came out a few years ago. Really big song. Every once in a while, she give me something. And I'm like, I don't know. Anyways, she has this song called All Your Exes. And I want you guys to listen to this song because of what it could have been.
Oh,
this song sounds like it's going to a certain place that gets me really excited. It's got this guitar riff going on, and like she's sounding like she's never sounded before. And then it just turns into like, I don't know, it's like overproduced. And I just want to put this on there just to let the listeners know, and for you guys to hear what an overproduced song sounds like. Because there are parts of this song that you're like, oh my God, it's perfect. It's perfect. Keep it right here. And then it's just like somebody walked in and we're just like, all right, now we need to add everything to make this sound like it can be on the radio or something.
Oh.
And it's like, and it just, to me, it just ruins the song. But it's so frustrating because I like the lyrics of the song. I don't hate the song, but it's just like, this song would have been so cool if it just stayed with these guitars and didn't mess it all up. But I want you guys to listen to it. It's a very interesting exercise to put on the playlist.
I like that. Very interesting. It sounds kind of like a shame.
Yeah.
But very interesting. Okay. I like it.
Just want to see if you guys understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because I feel crazy when I listen to the song. Because I'm just like, what are you doing? Well, that is what we're listening to. Make sure you check out the Sounds of Brunch playlist every Thursday, Friday on Spotify, whenever Dan gets to it. And, whenever Dan gets to it. So make sure you check that out. And thanks for listening to the Brunch Breakdown. Boys, this was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we got out on a good time.
Celebrate. Yeah. Episode number 50. We made good time. Twizzlers are trash. Enjoy, everybody.